Hello guys, welcome to Solving Solutions, your number one channel where you get solutions to all your solving problems. It's nice having you in class again today. How have you been? On today's video, we are going to look at something on raster calculator, right? Good. So let's come down to raster and then we go to raster calculator. So the raster calculator is actually a powerful tool, in GIS, and then it helps you to carry out mathematical analysis or mathematical operations on your raster dataset. So we have a DEM data here, a digital elevation model data, and we are seeing a range of values from -14 to 38. So we want to see how we can play with our raster data, sorry, the raster calculator, to build some expressions to maybe manipulate or manipulate some of the to manipulate this raster data. So the first thing is that we want to extract elevations that are, let's say, equal to 10 from this digital elevation model. So we open a parenthesis, we load, this is the raster band. These are the operators you can use. This is where you can build your expression. This is your result layer, your resolution, and then your CRS is somewhere around there. So we said elevations that are greater than 10, right? Good. So you can see the expression is still invalid until you close the bracket. Then the expression is valid, right? Good. So we don't want to write it on our disk yet. Let's use them on the fly raster instead. So when all of these are set, you can see the spatial extent set, resolution set, your CRS set. You can decide to click on what? Okay, good. Now let's look at the output. Now from the output, you can see 0 and 1. What this means is that the value of 10, that's the elevation 10 that we are trying to extract from this digital elevation model. This 0 and 1 indicates that wherever you see 1, wherever the raster value is equal to 1, then it's actually within that range. So in this context, it means maybe it's around 10. And then wherever you can see 0, it means it's actually outside that range. Now, let's still come back to our raster calculator and let's modify what our expression builder. So let's say we have a parenthesis there, we load in this, and then let's say we are trying to get the range of values that are elevations that are, let's say, less than 10 and let's say, sorry, greater than 10 and less than 25. So greater than 10, so we have them greater than or equal to 10. So that should be this, right? Greater than or equal to 10. Let's close this and we open another bracket. We have what? Them, that is what? Less than or equal to, that should be this, right? Sorry, less than or equal to, that should be this, less than or equal to 25, right? Good. Now let's close this. We are still using what? On the fly raster, and then let's click on OK. Good. So we have another raster layer somewhere around there, and then we can still see what are 0 and 1. So what this still means, as you can see, the values that are 1 when you ID, let's come down to our ID. So when you ID, what's the raster value? We have 1, which means these values are actually greater than 10 and less than 25. Then all those other values that will give you 0, they are actually outside our range. So how do we now get an expression that will not give us zeros and ones? So let's come down to the raster again. Let's go to the raster calculator. This time around, let's say this, we still bring in the DEM, and then let's say greater than 20. Let's close this bracket, then multiply it by this our DEM, right? Good. So now let's see, we are still having what? Okay, let's try to save this one to our file. So we click on browse and let's call this one, that's the file name we want to call it. Then let's save that. Output here, add result to project, right? So resolution set, spatial extent set, the output set, and then this is the expression we want to use. Let me copy this expression because I'm going to need it. Good. So now let's click on OK to run. All right, let's put this out. Okay, this is the original one. Good. Now you can see something different, right? Good. You can now see something other than 0 and 1. Remember what was the condition? Let's get our notepad. The condition is that we want values that are what, that are greater than 0, right? Yeah, that are greater than 20, right? Good. So from these output raster, we can see that we are having values that are greater than 20, right? So we're having from 0 to, let's say, um, 38, right? Good. Now, why we have something like this is because we have actually multiplied it by this what, uh raster data, which is them, so that we can be able to what, retain the elevation values that are within the range, and then assign a 0 value to cells that are outside what, the range. Now the range is that we are looking at values that are what, that are greater than 20. So by multiplying it by this DEM, which is what, the digital elevation model, or let's say the raster data that has all of the elevation values. We are trying to retain the elevation values that are within our range, which is what, from, let's say, 20 and above, because we are saying greater than 20, and then we are assigning what, a 0 value to cells that are what, that are outside our range. So we are still using the ID. So let's see what we can get. Okay, that's 0. Let's come down to this point. That's 24. That's 25. So you can see the values. So most of those blacks are actually what, values that are less than 20. So they've actually been classified as what, 0. And then the other values that are maybe thicker in color are values that are what, greater than 20. So let's ID another point. Sorry, let's ID another point. So okay, these white values are values that are greater than what, 20. Then these black ones are values that are what, that are less than 20, or that are outside our range. So you can see, we can see values greater than 20. That's 22, that's 25, that's 24. So that's 23. So we believe that we have been able to expose you, yeah, we have been able to show you how you can um, start up what, your raster calculator, how you can do a few things on your raster calculator. We've shown you what this 0 and 1 means, maybe when you have them, and then we also implore you to just explore, yeah, the tool, and then try to get more out of it and see how it can enhance what, your raster analysis. So until we see you on our next video, ensure you keep staying safe and have a very good time. Bye.